So we're going to take a look at this, The Batman Part 2. Where has it been? What's going on with it? These have been questions that fans have been asking now for months and months and months. We haven't heard anything about it. And it seems like they were kind of taking their time. And, you know, I think it was the writers and actors strike that kind of put a spanner in the works. And now we're finally getting updates on the production for Part 2. So, this article, production update for the Batman sequel following a significant delay. So, fans eagerly awaiting the sequel to The Batman are in for a lengthy wait, but a recent report sheds light on the upcoming production schedule. So finally, we're getting some news to clear up kind of what's going on with this production. According to insider Jeff Snyder, principal photography for The Batman Part 2 is set to commence in April of 2025. This timeline provides director Matt Reeves and his team ample time to refine scripts and cast the film. However, don't expect any official casting announcements until fall. Stay tuned for further updates as the sequel of the superhero hit takes shape. Yeah, guys, if we get any more news regarding the Batman update, you know, Batman Part 2 update, I'll make sure I'll put it on the channel. Keep you guys fully informed and up to date with all the DC news, including, you know, Robert Pattinson's The Batman Part 2 and, you know, DCU from James Gunn as well. So, as the Batman Part 2 gears up for production, familiar faces are set to grace the screen once again. Robert Pattinson will don the cape and cowl as the Dark Knight. He was so good as Bruce Wayne and Batman. He was so good. I wasn't that keen when I first heard the casting of Robert Pattinson, but the guy proved me wrong, man. He was so good as the Batman. He really was. Reprising the Dark Knight, reprising his role from the 2022 hit. Additionally, Jeffrey Wright is expected to return as Jim Gordon. I didn't really like his casting all that much. Don't get me wrong, Jeffrey Wright, he's an A-class world performer. Like, he is so good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't really like his casting in this movie as Jim Gordon. But he was still really good, don't get me wrong. Adding to the star-studded ensemble. But the excitement doesn't end there. Zoe Kravitz, Andy Serkis, and Paul Dano are all potential returnees, adding further depth to the sequel's cast. Notably, Barry Keoghan's Joker may take on a more prominent role, following the tantalizing tease of alliances with the Court of Owls in the previous installment. That deleted scene, I can't believe they actually took that scene out of the movie. I remember the Batman came out, and then I think it was like a couple of weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks after the movie came out, they released that extended cut, that extended clip online of Batman in Arkham talking to Joker. And then we saw sort of Joker's face behind the glass, but it was blurred out, and it was so creepy. And the dialogue between them was incredible. Why they cut that from the movie, I have no idea. It was an incredible scene, and just seeing that blurred, kind of disfigured face of the Joker, man, it was just, oh my god, that was so creepy. But it was so well done. Amidst the buzz, rumors abound regarding new additions to the cast. Speculation suggests that Boyd Holbrook, known for his role in Logan, is in talks with Warner Brothers to portray Harvey Dent or Two-Face. It'd be interesting to see their grounded take on Harvey Dent. So, as anticipation mounts, fans eagerly await official announcements and further development on the casting front for The Batman Part 2. Obviously, the Penguin series on HBO Max is also going to feed into The Batman Part 2, so that's going to be very interesting as well. So, we got this image here from the Batman. I love this, like the red tone, that kind of color palette that they had from the movie was really cool. You know, completely gave it that unique look. You know, made it different from all the other incarnations of Batman that we got previously. And the songs that they used as well, that kind of, melodramatic music that they used really kind of separated the tone as well. So the Batman story will continue. Part 2 marks the continuation of the rebooted Batman film series, with its announcement made amidst fanfare of CinemaCon in 2022, just a month after the original movie's debut. Initially set for October 2025 theatrical release, Warner Brothers recently announced a shift in plans, pushing the sequel's premiere back to October 2nd, 2026. So we got more than 2 years to go before we're going to see this movie, which absolutely sucks, man. When you hear this, over 2 years away. But then again, I guess we got a lot of good DC comic book material coming out before the Batman Part 2. You know, we've got James Gunn's Superman. I was going to say Superman Legacy, but it's now called Superman. So we've got, you know, Creature Commandos as well. So we've got some good DC stuff coming before as well. So we're not going to be hard up for DC content. Directed by Matt Reeves, the Batman film carved their own path within DC's cinematic landscape as standalone DC Elseworld projects. The distinction separates them from the broader DC Universe continuity led by DC Studios co-CEOs James Gunn and Peter Safran. Yeah, so James Gunn absolutely 100% confirmed that even though the DC is rebooting to the DCU and is going along with that whole canon, the new canon of the DCU, Elseworld stories like Todd Phillips' The Joker Folie à Deux and the Batman Part 2 is going to be happening alongside the DCU, but it's just going to be separate. It's going to be its own Elseworld story, and you know, so they're going to be happening at the same time. Hopefully it doesn't confuse fans, and hopefully they make it clear as to what's part of the DCU and what's Elseworld story. Otherwise, fans are going to get really confused with that. So as anticipation builds for the next chapter in this reimagined Batman saga, fans eagerly await further updates on the sequel's development and its place within the expanding DC cinematic universe. Stay tuned for more updates as the journey continues. The Batman became a critical and commercial success, kickstarting a planned trilogy by Reeves' newly established Batverse. The film grossed over $772 million worldwide against a $200 million budget and holds a critical rating of 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is incredible. The Batman also earned 3 Academy Award nominations. So yeah, $772 million is an incredible return on the box office, which is great. I would love to see the next one come out and almost do $1 billion. That would be fantastic. But the Batman is DC's crown jewel. The Batman is like Marvel's Spider-Man. You know, you can put out a Spider-Man movie or put out a Batman movie and they just generate tons of money. They're just cash cows, both of those characters. So meanwhile, a spin-off series for the Batman, The Penguin, is nearing its debut on HBO streaming service. Starring Colin Farrell as the menacing Oswald Cobblepot, The Penguin has been described as an incredibly dark series by Farrell. Recently debuting its first trailer, The Penguin is set 1 week following the events of The Batman, and then The Batman Part 2 is going to lead on from the events of The Penguin. So you can go and watch The Batman, watch The Penguin, and then straight into The Batman Part 2, and they all link together as a cohesive story, which is really, really cool. But guys, with that down, we've talked a bit about the Batman here, so it's going to be going into, it's going to premiere on October 2nd, 2026, and it says up here, it's going to be commencing production in April 2025. So we've got over 2 years to wait until the movie comes out, but it's going to start its production next April in 2025. So that's kind of where we are with the update on the Batman Part 2. But guys, jump into the comment section, let me know what you think about this. Are you excited for the Batman Part 2? And how do you feel having to wait another 2 years to see this movie? It kind of sucks, but it is what it is.